Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Is it too late? I don't think so. I think Micron is still an excellent buy long term. I think it's well positioned to hit its price target of 500. And in today's video, we're going to jump in and we're going to talk about the reasons why I feel that way. And we're going to talk about the news article that shook up and rattled investors today and caused a bit of a sell-off overall for the stock. So we'll dive into that and look exactly what happened to the stock today. What was the article that hit this morning that caused a concern with some of the investors in Micron? But before we do that, let's jump in and just talk about what happened in the market today overall. Hit a like, subscribe to the channel before I get started. So today I would call is buy the dip rotation. Pretty solid day overall. All of our indexes were up. The Dow was up by 0.04, but the beauty is it held the 50,000. We hit it on Friday and it held it today. It actually ended at 50,135, I believe. So solid performance. Let's hope it can continue to hold that mark and continue to build on it as we move through the week. We also saw the S&P 500 up by about half a percentage point, closing on the 7,000 ceiling again. Can we break through the ceiling this week? Drop your comment below. Let me know what you think. Will we break through? Will we finally pass that threshold for the S&P? And then the NASDAQ was up the best. It was about almost a full share point growth today, and the NASDAQ was a 0.9. And we saw a lot of rotation back into some really important companies in our economy. So Microsoft was up by 3 points. Meta had a nice rotation back into it, picked up some of the losses that they gained after their earnings. We saw them skyrocket after the earnings and then have a sell-off. They started to pick it up a little bit again today. Nvidia was up by 2.5%. Palantir had a great day, over 5% growth. A lot of noise and movement on that stock. A lot of people mentioning what a great buy it was at the end of last week. So we saw a bit of a rotation back. And then we also saw some software stocks start to pick up again. So Salesforce was up by 1.5%. Snowflake was up, I think, by over 5% today. So are their concerns alleviated regarding Anthropic and the SaaScopolis that we heard a lot about at the end of last week? Don't know, but we'll have to keep our eye on it moving forward. But it was good to see some rotation back into those companies as well. But let's jump in and talk about the memory sector, the one that I love in the tech sector overall. A bit of a rough day for the memory players today. So 3 out of the 4, I think, were down. Western was up on the day. Micron was down, SanDisk was down, and Seagate was down today as well. But let's jump in and look specifically at what happened with Micron. And you can see overall, I love this view on the screen. It gives us kind of a 7-day, 8-day view overall for Micron. You see at the top, we ended today at 383, down by about 3%, $11 down in the day. It looks like the after hours were continuing to slide another $4. So we very well are going to come into tomorrow's market with Micron, in my opinion, in an unbelievable position to buy the dip. You do the research. That's my view. It's a risk that you're going to have to do. So make sure it's the right asset for you at the right price point for you. But at this price point and where I believe it'll hit a price target of 500 is an excellent chance to jump in on Micron. But here's how it looked on the last week. You can see at the end of January, we're targeting that 450, a great run. We did have that article come out that said the stock was overstretched compared to its 200-day average. You can see that 200-day average, moving average here on your screen. It's that light yellow arc. You can see how we were above it. Micron was above it in January. The article came out around February 2nd, definitely caused some sell-off in the stock. I think we saw this contagion of more sell-off causing more sell-off, people profit-taking. We saw that through the middle of last week. The stock rallied to end the week just about under 400, 394 a share. The Samsung news hit today, which I'm going to share in a moment, and it caused more kind of alarm with investors, more concern. We saw some more sell-off, and the stock kind of held around the 380 today overall. I'm going to scroll down because there's one piece I love to see. I'm going to bring it up later, but look at that forward PE of 8.72 currently right now for Micron. So undervalued. Great opportunity, particularly when you compare that to just the semiconductor average of forward PE. But let's jump over and talk about what the news was today. This was the article that concerned, or the news that broke that concerned investors, is that Samsung has ramped up its production of its 6th generation HBM4. They're delivering it early to the market. They're trying to take advantage and capture market share, more market share than some of the share that they lost last year, and capture it back when Nvidia's Vera Rubin chip. So they're ramping up. They're going to actually probably have production ready second half of this month. It caused some concerns with investors. It caused a bit of a sell-off. One of the analysts over here from Mizuho said that, and Jordan Klein said, this moronic press was causing a sell-off, indicating that Micron's HBM4 offerings aren't fast enough for Nvidia. We know their leadership came out and disputed that article that was shared last week around concerns about their HBM4 product and not being able to meet Nvidia's demands or their needs for chips. And we did see the leadership of Micron say that they will have supply in the market in the second quarter of this year. And the last piece I want to share is if you just look at the HBM4 of where it is today, they're projecting SK Hynix to get 50% of the HBM4 market for Nvidia. And then Samsung as well as Micron will get about 20% each. So even with Samsung's kind of start and jump out, we still see that Micron will hold a good portion of that business overall. So I want to jump in and just share in the last couple minutes what my case is or why I'm long-term on Micron, why I think it still has an excellent opportunity to hit that 500 price target that we've talked about. And the first reason is the market share overall. So we know in HBM4, I shared it earlier, SK Hynix has about 60 to 70% of the share. Micron was actually the biggest winner in 2025. They grew from 10% of HBM4 market share to 21 at the end of 2025. They took it directly from Samsung because Micron's HBM3E product is superior. It's more efficient, and it was a better choice for Nvidia. So they had the lead going into it, and I think this is what Samsung is, and their ambitious plan is to capture some of that market share back. So we know going in that they had a significant year last year. We also know the biggest reason, even if Samsung can deliver to the market, they're not going to hurt 2026 for Micron. We know the HBM capacity is sold out. Capacity is completely sold out for Micron. Pricing is locked. Customers have commitments are signed and dotted. So anything that Samsung can deliver to the market today will just fill in the demand that Micron and SK Hynix can't meet today anyways. So it's not going to hurt 2026 for Micron because its capacity is sold out. We also know Nvidia loves to have a three-player strategy. Nvidia is notorious for keeping all three players within this market so they can keep prices competitive. So even if Micron is slightly behind Samsung at the start, Nvidia is structurally incentivized to keep Micron at that 20 to 25 share so they can keep prices in check. And so they're not over-reliant on their South Korean companies of SK Hynix as well as Samsung. Plus, I know Nvidia also has a vested interest in keeping their Micron as the only domestic producer of advanced memory and HBM4 memory, of keeping them current and keeping them within their ecosystem. So I think you'll continue to see Nvidia have this three-way dance, three-partner dance with these companies to ensure they can maintain pricing leverage. And I think the last piece I'm going to get to is some of the reasons why I believe it'll hit the 500 or has an excellent chance of reaching that 500 price target. Number one, I mentioned is the HBM supply is sold out for 2026. So anything that Samsung delivers, they're not going to disrupt the pricing that is already locked, that is signed and sealed for Micron today. We also know that the DRAM market is expected to grow 45% quarter over quarter in the first half of this year. So Micron will be entering its most profitable period in the history of the company. And many analysts estimate that they're projecting their fiscal 2026 earnings to triple to roughly $33 per share, earnings per share. So significant financial gains and locked in pricing for the company. The second is the efficiency advantage or the efficiency crown that Micron has over its competitors. Samsung may be faster to the HBM4 market if they deliver earlier, but Micron holds the technical lead in power efficiency. We saw that in the HBM3E market. So it's 30% less power for Micron's HBM3E because it's built on the 1 beta and the 1 gamma node, which consumes significantly less power than its rivals. And this is critically important for our hyperscalers as well as Nvidia, because data centers are hitting power walls. And they are those hyperscalers and Nvidia are prioritizing chips that generate less heat. So Micron's efficiency makes it a premium choice, even if it isn't the highest volume producer in the market. And then I think we need to look at beyond HBM4, other types of memory where Micron has significant leadership positions in. So we know in this AI supercycle we're in right now, all kinds of memory has a massive demand on it. And Micron is dominant in two other areas of memory that is critical. So number one, they're dominant in low power memory for CPU components of AI servers. So they're LPDD R5X. They are a dominant player in that category, and it's critically important for the AI sector, as well as enterprise SSDs. So Micron's data center SSD revenue is hitting record highs. It's providing a diversified safety net that Samsung and SK Hynix struggle to match in terms of margins. And then the last piece I want to talk about is just the valuation gap. I showed it earlier in that screen with the forward PE. If you look at Micron's forward PE right now, they are trading significantly lower than other mission critical players in the AI world. And if we just try to think about how do they do the math to get the 500 price target? If they can deliver on the 33 to 36 earnings per share with a modest growth multiple of 15x, that puts the price of the stock price anywhere from $495 to $540. Very realistic to hit that target just based on it. Many believe that 33 to 36 earnings per share is a realistic target for Micron this year. And then I think the last piece is, will they get re-rated, reevaluated? Will we stop looking at Micron as a traditional boom bust memory player and start to realize that it is a key player in the AI infrastructure and that the memory is the true bottleneck demand in this space? So once we do that, once that gets reevaluated, that also will have an opportunity to push the stock price past that 500 price target. So overall, I think the news when you see Samsung, yes, it'll be a competitive news for 2027. 2026, Micron's share is locked and it's pre-signed with its pre-signed contracts. And analysts believe that if Micron can continue to maintain a 20% share in this market is expected to triple to $100 billion by 2028. So even if Samsung can move from 17 to 30%, Micron maintains that 20% with the growth we see in this market, that also will validate and help them reach that price target of 500. So that's my case, guys. I don't know what your thoughts are. Let me know down below. Do you agree with my bull case for Micron? Are you more concerned? Are you going to hold it? Are you going to sell off like we saw today? Do you think anything else that could happen in the market that may affect it? Is there any other news that I should have mentioned that's on your mind? But love to hear your comments below. Drop it below. I respond to each and every one of them. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care.